Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm joined here by Dr. Alexander Scott and Tom McCarthy, Executive Director of the state's COVID response, Commerce Secretary Stephen Pryor, along with Education Commissioner Angelica Infante-Green, who will be available for questions before the end of the press conference. Also, Sabina Matos, officially sworn in as our 70th Lieutenant Governor, is here today. And together we'll be holding press conferences beginning next Tuesday on related important matters that are not COVID. Today is about COVID. So this is the big news that I'm really excited to share. We know that transportation can be a big barrier to getting people vaccinated. And Scott Avedisian informed me yesterday that starting Monday, April 19th, RIPTA will be providing free transportation for anyone traveling to or from a COVID-19 vaccination appointment. Excuse me. So thanks to our partners at RIPTA. I actually was visiting there the other day when they were announcing their Meals on Wheels, 10,000 Meals on Wheels since the COVID started, and now they're going to be bringing people directly to the COVID vaccination sites. So this is really something that we've been pushing for. I'm so glad that Scott and the people at RIPTA have been able to figure it out. Rhode Islanders who want to get more information or take advantage of this program can contact RIPTA Customer Service by emailing customerservice@ripta.com, or they can call at 781-9400. That's 781-9400. Reminder, masks are always required on the RIPTA vehicles. While you're on the bus, take a picture. With the mask on, and hopefully with a vaccination sticker, and then hashtag that at vaccinate 401, so we can keep the momentum going and making sure that we're providing every opportunity for people to get to a vaccination site. So on next steps, I want to acknowledge all the work of all the people who are doing this, get the shots in the arms, from the clinic volunteers to volunteer vaccinators, to our faith leaders and patient neighbors who take the time to talk with why it's important to get a shot in the arm. You're making a big difference, and I want to thank you. I also want to give special shout out to the community leaders who have come together to turn out thousands of members of the BIPOC community for vaccines during the equity-focused vaccination weekends. Their dedication and energy you bring to the vaccination efforts is electric. And there's another one coming up this Saturday at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. So if you're part of the hard-hit communities and haven't yet had access to a shot, call 211 right now and ask to be booked for an equity-focused clinic appointment. There are appointments that are available. J&J, just a point, I know that the recommendation to pause the administration of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on Wednesday caused a lot of concern. The pause is meant to give healthcare providers a little time to learn more about warning signs and specialized treatment to address these literally 1 in a million cases. Anyone at the state-run clinic that has signed up for a Johnson & Johnson shot should have already been notified that they will be receiving either a Pfizer or a Moderna appointment. And the Department of Health is working with community clinics and pharmacies to make sure that everyone who had signed up for a J&J appointment will get a shot in the arm as scheduled. So please don't let this deter you from taking your shot. Quickly on a point on this, which was brought up last week, that had to do with the emails that were canceled. We have, as I've mentioned, we called in the state police to do a review. There's no update yet, but I just want to let you know that there will be one, and we're taking this very seriously, not jumping to conclusions, but certainly taking it seriously. And I announced over the weekend that a state police review of the matter is ongoing, and we will provide the updates with more information when it becomes available. There's a lot of good news this week. Approximately 16,000 vaccine appointments go live tomorrow evening. Monday will be the day that many Rhode Islanders have been waiting for. Vaccine eligibility will open to Rhode Island 16 and over. That's Monday, April 19th. It's almost here, and we're encouraging people to make those appointments as they become eligible. Rhode Island is in the top 5 states with the highest percentage vaccinated adults at 36.5%, and there are more than 300,000 now fully vaccinated in Rhode Island. 50,000 Rhode Islanders were vaccinated last week. Rhode Island continues to be a national leader in seniors vaccinated. We're up to 78% of seniors vaccinated in the state of Rhode Island. And we're getting our most vulnerable and members of the BIPOC community vaccinated. And also, like I said, we'll do this for any community that is trailing, because the idea is to get everyone vaccinated in the state of Rhode Island. So we're on track with our goals. The J&J announcement did not deter that, and I'm happy to report that in terms of our goals of the May 15th, 70% vaccinated, and the June 5th, 70% fully vaccinated. Small business relief, Stefan will go over that, but I want to just make it a point that this week we announced a new small business relief grant program. We are using $20 million in the remaining CARES Act funds to provide $5,000 grants to 4,000 businesses. A reminder that applications open today at 3 p.m. and we will be granted on a first-come, first-served basis through April 30th. We've made sure that the application is simple and streamlined. Businesses can apply online through the Commerce RI website. Anybody who needs help with that, please make sure you call Commerce Department. We have assigned individuals over and above their staff to make sure that any questions will be answered so that we get those dollars into our small business community as quickly as we can. That's $20 million. We have another $10 million in that CARES Act funds that we plan to allocate to the reopening strategy, on top of the $70 million that we provided to over 90% of the businesses that borrowed on the PPP loans. We know businesses have used grants to help them cover payroll, new supplies, meet changing service delivery, upgrade technology, cover costs on the plexiglass, and dividers can comply with COVID guidelines and protocols. Businesses will be able to use these $5,000 grants to help their businesses survive and move forward as we move into the reopening of the state. If you have any questions, you can call the Small Business Hotline at 521-HELP, 521-HELP. So as business supports, we're keeping the shots in the arms, as we said, to open our economy. I want to just say that the Department of Business Regulation is open and ready to make sure that they provide all our businesses with the guidelines and the help. For more information, they can call 889-5550. That's 889-5550. So we're on target, again, for the vaccination goals. But our restaurants are open. And so I'm encouraging people, make your Mother's Day's brunch and dinner reservations now. Our businesses are open, and we need to make sure that we support our businesses as we get into the reopening of the state of Rhode Island. So make your Mother's Day brunch and dinner reservation today. So I met last night with restaurant owners, and we were making plans to make sure that restaurant staff are vaccinated as quickly as possible. And we're going to be putting a program together. It makes sense in terms of our supply, but we got to get our restaurants open. And our small businesses are open, so support them locally. Last week, we talked a little about the unemployment incentives that are there that are discouraging some individuals from going back to work, and we're going to be working on a plan that helps accelerate the staffing back into, in particular, our restaurants and other small businesses. We can't run our small businesses, they can't run those small businesses with no staff. And so we need to make sure that we fix that and figure out ways to make sure we accelerate that. And I want the message to people of Rhode Island is that with the efforts that are happening in the state in terms of keeping us safe, we're open. And we need to make sure that we're open, and we're open safely, and to make sure that we have the discipline to follow the guidelines are in place. And we're going to be very safe, and we're going to be able to do business with our businesses. And and our local restaurants, no exception to that. So I've just mentioned a little point. I actually met a young man at the ASA Mesa school today. I'm doing tours now of some of the schools around the state, beginning in Providence with the superintendent and his staff, and your Hosea, hello, 4th grader, wonderful kid. I said I would give him a little shout out, so I kept my promise there. So we want to continue to wear the mask, follow these guidelines, follow the protocols, reopen our state. Let's vaccinate our ocean state.